Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we will be checking out Hudrick on lakes. And we are going to follow the steps that we found in our guide that you can see on screen right now if I edit this correctly. There you go. Because I did a guide on Hudrick and how to play them. And today we're going to check out whether or not that works. So if you haven't seen it already, make sure to check it out after this one. But yeah, we're going to apply what we've learned in that video. And I intend to make more guides, probably one for each and every tribe, because that is going to be the way for us to, well, distribute all the information, of course. We are just waiting for this battle to start if this opponent wants to play. And otherwise, you'll see me cut to the next game here. Alright, here we are. We switched up to play continents instead. Because apparently people don't want to play lakes. Which I get. I don't like lakes either. So that's actually one of the strong suits of this tribe. Is that it is kind of versatile. Just like Yadak. But the thing is, Yadak is worse on more crowded maps, whereas Hudrick actually benefits from the crowdiness. So yeah, that is basically, I mean, that's not all the differences, of course. Let's take a look at this upgrade here. Another difference, of course, is that Hudrick is slower to expand already, especially, I mean, in this case it's not that bad. Ooh, that is rough. It's a rough city. We can upgrade this. I wonder where my opponent is actually. I'm gonna go... Ooh, I need to go workshop because otherwise... No, actually it doesn't matter. Because I feel like my opponent spawned on the same continent, no? No, they didn't, but like... This map is weird, because where is our opponent? Are they over here? Because this is not a lot of land to spawn on. This is also a very weird position, but... I have no clue. So we can't forestry here. We could go org or fishing. I don't like either of those options, so I'm just going to grab this. Terrain warrior. We are already deviating from the plan. So that is what happens usually. In a very theoretical sense, you will always follow the steps I provided you with. But in this case, because we are getting kind of unlucky here, we can go grab forestry, do some chops, and just go that way. Okay, so they spawned over here. That's good to know. So let's grab this, chop this, and so this is a market spot. And then this could be a market spot as well, or this. No, this would be a market spot. This is the best market spot, actually. Yeah, let's chop this. I'm doing some thinking here. We can chop this and this, then upgrade this. Take a workshop, end our turn. So around 10 stars per turn at the end of turn 5, like I said. But now we have the vision that we want. I got kind of greedy. But yeah, we are going to either look at a market game plan here, or look at some kind of just pushing a bunch of giants into the water. What is that? What is that tribe? That is Barter. Scary Barter. Let's upgrade this and then upgrade that. There you go. So math is 13 stars. Let's train one warrior here and one archer here. It delays me by a couple of turns, but I feel like I need it. We just haven't had the luckiest of spawns, so we are chopping for a bit, and then we need to find a village because there is none here. It's kind of rough. This will probably be a 4v4 continents game, or maybe 4v5 in case our opponent gets to the water first. So where did they spawn then? Or did they just take a border growth here? That looks like a border growth to me, which is kind of tasty, if you know what I mean. We're still in the lead. Oh, there you go. That is why you train units. Especially with these rivers going on. Kind of messed up on it, but it's fine. I was hoping to find some more stuff everywhere. We can do that. Let's start here. Take those resources. And then we can do that for border growth. I don't like that too much, actually. We could chop and get a catapult. We could do that. Is that the right goal here? I don't know. Let's just place this sawmill. I don't like the idea of... I might be looking at just pumping a market down here in a second. Could have upgraded the city instead. I had to chop for that then, which is not great. I hope there's a ruin here, because usually there's 2 underwater and 2 on each, or 1 or 2 on each continent. But usually if you see like an empty spot like this, it's kind of likely that there will be a ruin. We can also get org and then get a giant. Let's just smack that. Okay, there wasn't. That's rough. Rough. Anyhow, so let's take this giant. Bark of Fortune. Where are we sticking that? Nowhere yet. Let's take these and just go full economy mode. Try to just bombard our opponent with better economy is what I hope to do here. If that doesn't work, then we shall cry, because our opponent is probably... oh man, doesn't look like they have a giant yet. That port is not in a nice spot. That is not a great spot for that port. It looks like they don't have any great spots, actually. Come to think of it. We might be able to just deny them all the water access. But We're kind of in not the greatest position in terms of our water access either. And we would need to defend against giants. Interesting position. There's the bridge play we could make. Either way, we need to defend our homeland with the homeland security. Do some more upgrading like this. And some more giants. Train an archer just for good measure. And then this would be 20 and then that would be 16, so we need to chop once if we want to get that completely done. Okay, we can kill that raft. I'm gonna stick that giant next to this city. Because, you know, that's kind of good. It doesn't look like our opponent took any explorers whatsoever, which is just brutal. I don't think I would ever be able to survive a game without taking any explorers whatsoever. To be fair, explorers are very important because, well, in this situation, I don't know what's going on because I figured there would be like a village right here, which there obviously isn't. But there could have been. May have been. But there wasn't. Was not the case whatsoever. So that's just a free kill. Thank you. Move that over here. Oh, actually. I don't need to do it like that, but next turn we can claim this ruin and maybe it gives us trade. Which would be awesome! Now if the opponent decides to go with a giant or something, I don't know if that will be very great. If we can somehow get rid of that. But I also don't know what their naval axes look like. Because it just kind of looks like they're stuck on this slit of land here. Because this also, I mean, this doesn't show land. I'm not sure. I can't tell. I would need to get something. Oh, we got stars. That is preposterous. Let's just get that market. Let's get this market. And let's get this market as well. Yeah, we're kind of in a position here. Not sure what kind of position, but looks kind of good, you know? Star Ruin is kind of OP. They might need to nerf that. We did a decent job. I totally forgot to chop one of these forests for another sawmill. I mean, I could put one here, but this one's already maxed. So that doesn't actually matter. And then we can do an upgrade here with fishing. and then get a border growth, and then profit. This looks exactly like the World Championship games, you know? I mean, it's not that high of a level, but rushing markets is just genuinely the best thing you can do in most situations, and I don't think that that should be the case. Because they are just that strong. And we actually discussed this. I did a live stream the other day with Polystrategist. Make sure to check out his channel as well. We were analyzing the live game that was going on at that moment in time. Let me put that there. We were analyzing the games, and we were talking about this, and I mean, we had different opinions on this, and that was very, very cool, right? Because he did like the idea of markets being very good, and well, I just disagree. I don't like markets being that good because they're just everywhere at this point. Oh, they have catapults as well. That's something to keep note of. What are their plans? Well, we need to start thinking Navy thoughts now, because this is rough. This is actually something I am really bad at. Positions like these, where you're kind of, you know, you're in the lead in terms of economy probably, but then in terms of just Navy and stuff. So this is actually a good trainer game to me. This is something I can really improve at. Oh, they border growth that just to do stuff there, I suppose. We can kill all of that. This is just free kills to me. How much damage does that do? That still does 9 damage. So let's start off with this. And then this. Because if we can, I'd prefer do that. To do like this, and we can upgrade our markets just a bit more. Get a giant. And we can probably do this. Get ourselves a defender here. Get a rider. Start thinking Navy thoughts and such. Yeah, that giant is done for. I'm not sure what they... Oh, they want to land that. That is aggressive. Really aggressive, if I can say that. So the idea here will be that we are going to obliterate the opponent using our superior economy. So where can I put that? Over here? It's kind of a safe spot. Now, scouts versus archers is actually a favorable trade for archers. So I don't think that this is a detrimental play from the opponent to us. We can start linking up our cities. We can do some more road shenanigans and stuff. Connect 5 cities. We can port like here. Land that. Do this. Put you here. I'll put this down here. Just to say we did. You can go like this. Can put a defender down here. Start using our stars to our advantage. Don't know how that linked up, but that's fine. Get another port. Get another super unit. Train another catapult. Train another rider. Yeah, we're doing stuff. Not sure if it's optimal stuff, but we are doing stuff, surely. We are definitely pumping out the giants, both of us. But I need to get some naval dominance here. Because naval dominance wins games. If you haven't heard. So I'm looking at ramming. Oh, they want that. They want a piece of that city. They ain't gonna get it. Nuh-uh. They ain't gonna get none of that. You can get greedy all you like, but gonna land that right there. Stick it right in there, if you know what I mean. That's not a thing that you are aware of. I did not say that. Anyhow, how are you guys doing? Having a blast, I hope. Enjoying some of these gameplay thingies we do here. I want to unsiege that without doing the thing, you know? Hello. Let me do this. And then unsiege like so. And then you can pop right in there. Train another defender here. Nicely space out all these units. Right, like so. Train another catapult. And then, you know what? Let's just link these up and train a rider. Pass turn. Yeah, our opponent is just way too aggressive here. I don't think they understand that we have a very fine defensive setup and that, I mean, they have these catapults. They have catapults. I'm not sure if they have markets or not because we are in a very good position. We're going to take over the navy here. I'm gonna land this. I want that city. Okay. Whatever, man. And I just want some vision on this side. Because it looks like they actually have one or two. No, it looks like they have one city more than I do. Let's get rid of this. Let's get this in here. I'm gonna just do that. Let me get rid of that. Just do this. Wrote that in. And I actually want to preserve our giants here. that over there. One, two, three, four. Yep, that can kill it. Boop. Okay, the power. We can hit this like so. We can hit that like so. Hit that like so. I want more info on our opponent's territory. Let's train a couple more units. And then let's take diplomacy just to get fear on their capital. There you go. So just the two forestry tribes battling it out in this game here. Looks like we have quite the upper hand, since we went for the more economic pathway, which is usually more important on maps such as well, that is on maps such as continents, because continents is just expensive. You need to get a lot of stars to get your navy going, and if you can't, well, sucks to suck, I suppose. What is our plan actually to win this game, because we're in a rough spot. Did they take any explorers? They took an explorer in the capital. What? Are they going to resign yet? Let's take a sip of water. I can do this all day. It says they're playing, but I don't see it. I don't see anything happening whatsoever. We can just take philosophy, go mind benders. And I don't like this. It's too much. There's too much going on simultaneously. The thing is, if you get trade, and to a lesser extent philosophy, the thing is, you will be able to pick up so many technologies that your actual game plan suffers from it. The actual game plan of, well, what if I take math? Well, I can't take navigation in that case. So the bad thing about that is, like, if you have trade and you can just pick up every technology, that's just boring. Okay, our opponent has resigned here. I want to take a look at what we were actually fighting against, because there were definitely things that our opponent would be able to do here without them losing. I feel like they played all right, but I don't think that they had the knowledge about how to actually win games like these. Because this is really tough, actually. Rushing markets is just so incredibly strong. Let's take an explorer. They need to fix this. I want this explorer to be useful. I should stop wasting my time, actually. We know that we've won, basically. And that the opponent won't be able to do anything. I just don't like this meta. It's just like Semanti. It's just too samey. You get markets and or philosophy. And then whatever your opponent does, just pick something that can counter it. But if your opponent also goes markets, you have to get markets. Because otherwise you can't compete. And especially on higher levels of gameplay, it's just, these people are so good at delaying sieges and such, that you just get market gameplay each and every game, and I don't think that that's great. I mean, for smaller maps, I don't think that you should be getting markets every game. I think that that's just too much. Too much of a good thing. Let's see if we can... Oh, they had some more catapults. Well, now they're dead. Let's just get that. How many catapults did they have? Not that many, actually. Okay, yeah, we were definitely going to win this game. Let me just put that down, just to be sure. Yeah, they definitely stopped playing. I mean, is Hoodrick just that good? I feel like Hoodrick is a good tribe. They are definitely up there. Especially if you take a look at the versatility. It's one of the only tribes that has a somewhat useful tech for even Archipelago. Because archers are really good against scouts and rammers. But like, they're not the greatest because they're not a turn 0 tribe. Their expansion speed is kind of slow, but you know, they have very good economy. Probably one of the best economies in the game, if not the best actually. It's just that their early game is kind of slower to get started. Just rushing markets is just kind of too much. Right, there you go. Let's take a quick look at that. Let's take a look at what their mid-game was looking like. Because we got markets on turn 11. And they had 2 giants at that point. We did have 2 giants as well. But we have markets. Like, the difference here is just doubling your economy. Oh, they actually have the same amount of cities. See, that is why I like continents. You get equal amounts of cities. What were they doing, actually? Because we basically had all the same technologies, but was that Star Ruin just that OP? I mean, they started with hunting. I had to take another technology. Did they just do a bad resource management? Or what? They chopped a lot of forest, or did they? No, they had bad resources, but they had 3 ruins. Wonder what they got. 4 ruins! 4 ruins! So what did they get from all of those? Let me check. Stars. So can't blame me for having too much luck. And then population, which is not that impactful. And then, let's see. Another star ruin. Like, how? I mean, the resources are bad, I get that, but... That is 3 star ruins! What the heck? And I was wondering why it was even close. Oh my goodness, that is hilarious. They didn't even leave a spot for their sawmill or for a market. And they could have gotten a border growth here. They could have chopped this. Things like that. That's hilarious. Alright. Thank you for watching. And as always, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.